A king was walking through a forest. He hears a cry. He asks his servants, "What is that?" To which they reply, "There is a Jew over there, mourning the loss of a holy temple." The king says, "I never heard of this. When was this temple destroyed?" His servants say, "Over 1,000 years ago." The king says, if somebody is still mourning something that was destroyed 1,000 years ago, that is a sign that they are going to see it being rebuilt. The last few weeks of Tanya have been discussing putting a soul into what we do. Everything has a body and a soul. The body of Torah and mitzvot is what we do. The soul is why we do what we do. So that's the love that we spoke about, arousing a love which corresponds to the Sephirah of Chesed, which also corresponds to the first forefather Abraham, which is a want to give to God. When I arouse this love, I want to be closer to the creator of the universe, and that enables me and gives me power to do the positive commandments. When I arouse in awe, that is from the attribute of Yitzchak, which corresponds to the Sephirah of Gevurah. It causes me to retract, and that is the motivation to keep the negative commandments. Today's Tanya introduces the attribute of Tiferet, mercy, which corresponds to our forefather Yaakov. When we meditate upon our soul, which in its essence is spiritual, even higher than spiritual, its essence is one with God Himself, and it's down here in the physical world where godliness is concealed and hidden. In fact, the word for world in Hebrew is olam. Olam comes from the same word as helem. Helem, which means concealment. The whole idea of the world, it conceals God. So that means we're in our body, we're exiled. The Kabbalah calls the body the skin of a snake. Because just like a snake is repulsive, so too the world in which we're in is also seemingly repulsive. And what did Yaakov do? When he met his bride-to-be, Rachel, one of the first things he did was he cried, because Rachel is the source of the Jewish souls, and Yaakov is the attribute of mercy. Yaakov arose mercy on all the souls of the Jewish people, and so too me and you have this attribute of Yaakov inside of us. When we arouse the mercy upon our soul which is inside the body, and we want to help it, we want to get it out. How do we get it out? That's by doing Torah and mitzvot. And that is another intention that we can have while we are trying to make the world a better place. Have a Shabbat Shalom, an amazing Shabbat, and hopefully you will be together in the building of the Beit HaMikdash, because once we're mourning and we're upset about our situation, that's a sign that we're going to get moving.